And welcome to Granger Talk, the podcast that brings you the inside scoop on all things happening at LaGrange High School and beyond. We are your hosts, Jamie Bozeman, Aidan Blackwell, Keita Placide, and Ryan Slay. Today we are shining a spotlight on a truly incredible event, Special Night. Our community celebration honors our students with differing abilities here in Troup County. Today we're thrilled to have Miss Mitzy Norton, the coordinator for Special Night, joining us for an enlightening conversation. So get ready to dive into the heartwarming stories and the inspiring moments that made Special Night a cherished tradition here in our community. Miss Norton, welcome to Granger Talk.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Good. If you could, Miss Norton, just kind of start us out and tell us a little bit about who you are and kind of how you got to like this moment and this place here at LaGrange High School, kind of your educational journey with students with differing abilities.
So I began teaching in the Troup County school system in 1997, telling my age. I taught for 3 years, serving students with differing abilities in a resource setting. And then I had the opportunity to stay at home with my 2 children for 7 years. And I came back into the system and taught at the elementary level for 12 years. And then, I've had ongoing opportunities, different seasons that have allowed me to, transition into different positions. And I've now been at LaGrange High School this is my 8th year.
Awesome. So listening to you kind of introduce yourself and talk about the different places you've been, I mean, obviously the different schools, I'm assuming that the programs that you've been a part of and that you've had an opportunity to kind of leave your mark on and the mark that they've left on you, what separates the program that we have here at LaGrange High School when we talk about students with differing abilities? Like, what separates that? What makes it truly unique or all-inspiring to talk about those moments that we mentioned about heartwarming stories and just, being inspiring?
I truly believe that here at LaGrange High School, the entire Granger family, administration, the staff, the students, I feel like there is a mission to truly build and expand perspectives as it relates to creating an inclusive school community, a community where all students, including students with differing abilities, they feel valued, but they also recognize that they are valued.
Yeah, it's been really cool the last couple of years to really just see the inclusivity that you're talking about as it relates to the students that we serve here at LaGrange High School. Our student population is roughly 1,300 students. And how many kids do we have in our program here at LaGrange?
We have 26.
So you're talking about 26 students out of 1,300. And it's really it could be really easy for those students to kind of get lost in the fold at times. But if you come to some of our events like Mr. and Miss LHS, or if you come to some of our drama productions that Kemper puts on, or if you look at Brandy Turner Spring concert, if you look at the invocation that we did before the board, the students that we're talking about here, like they were the highlights of those things.
Yes. The cheerleading, the football team, the baseball team, oh my goodness, student council, they have embraced our students. Dr. Farrell, our teachers all around, they truly do bring them in and make certain that they know that they are part of the Granger family.
Ms. Norton, if you could just talk about what Special Night is and then how it came to be what it is today, because I think it's grown over time from just being LaGrange High School students to really more of a community event. So just kind of like the evolution of Special Night.
So I believe it was 2018, 2019. The idea presented itself when a friend, a coworker, sent a video of a student participating in a football game. And I don't know, wheels just started turning, and I went to Mr. Alton White, who was our principal at that time, and I approached him with this idea. I thought, well, let's talk. What if we host an event where students with differing abilities, they are the stars of the night. Give them a night to shine. So that first year, it was special night for special Grangers. And it was held in the old gymnasium, the barn. And it was just incredible. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. Not just for the students themselves, but there were so many pivotal moments during that event, that first event, that really made me reflect and realize, wow, like this is growth for everyone here. We had our general ed basketball players, students who participate on the actual LaGrange High School team. They came in to support our students, and I will never forget, there was a young man, and you could tell when he initially, stepped onto that court, he was a little standoffish, and that's okay. There's no judgment. A lot of our students here at the high school, and even just individuals throughout the community, have never truly interacted or taken time with individuals who might be different from them. But again, you could see the hesitation in his face. Less than 5 minutes into the game, he, along with another student who had differing abilities, they were high-fiving, and the rest of the game, his eyes just lit up. And to see him celebrating these students, having their moment to shine. Well, the next year, that young man had graduated from high school, and I look up in the audience, and there he sits. So again, it's truly planting seeds. We talk about a lot in our school system about a place for every child. Well, in order to truly present every child, with a place just for them, to let them know they belong, we have got to step out of the box, and we've got to present opportunities. And I think, again, that goes back to LaGrange High School, the willingness of our administration and our staff as a whole to come together and just discuss, what if we, just communicating and collaboration.
Before Ryan, I think that's really important. Excuse me, what you just said, and it really struck me when you said it earlier. I wrote it down, and that is, all too often, I think sometimes we start looking at things, we start looking at situations, we look at incentives, we look at just events we want to plan, and it's like oftentimes we come up with reasons why we can't make something happen. Right. And it's like, man, I don't know about that, or that would take a lot of work, or how many people would we have? What is the money situation? We kind of find all kind of reasons as to why we can't do something. But whenever you said you went to Mr. White, and you just said, you didn't even give him an opportunity, but it was just like, hey, what if? Right. Like, there is a possibility here. I'm willing to do the work. Just what if? Will you give us that opportunity? And I'm so thankful that he did, and you've made it to what it is today. And we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. I know Ryan has a question for you.
Yeah. So the other thing that came to my mind with what you're saying is that this whole thing has been very intentional. Stepping forward and saying, we're going to do something, don't know if it can even be done, going into it and not really knowing how it's even going to turn out. Like that's a lot of anxiety going into something like that. But it sounds like we've got a lot to celebrate in terms of that actually coming to fruition. So who were some of the people that were really influential in getting this thing started for Special Night?
Wow. So the very first year, of course, administration stepped in. But to begin naming individuals I almost hesitate, because there were so many members of this school family who stepped in, and they're like, what can we do? I mean, office staff, teachers, coaches, students, our custodial staff. They all just wanted to take part. And it truly did exceed our expectations.
So it's really across the board.
It is
just a total buy-in.
It really is. And again, the first year, we were thrilled. We were so happy with the way things turned out. Giving those students a night to shine, seeing their parents up in the stands cheering their students on, but also seeing others, rally around them was incredible. But then as time passed, and now this event, it's growing. I don't want to get ahead of things, as far as what we're approaching next, as far as our next question. But stakeholders in the community, they want to buy in. They want to take part. Because again, this just keeps growing because you are helping to shift perspectives. And in our community, we want to see not just inclusion here at LaGrange High School. We want to see inclusion within our school system as a whole, but also within the community as a whole. You think about students and their futures and post-secondary opportunities. Those seeds, they're being planted, and growth is coming about as a result of it.
You said something about families and watching their faces up in the stands as their student is now the star of the show. And I wanted to say two things about that. I don't want it to get lost in this. Is that most of the male students that we have played in the game, but our female students also have a really key role in this because they're the cheerleaders. I mean, they dress up and they wear the uniforms that the cheerleaders would wear, and they're the ones on the sidelines with our LaGrange High School cheerleaders. So everybody has a part and a place.
Everyone. Scorekeeper. We have students who they want to take part, but maybe they don't want to play basketball or they're not comfortable with cheerleading. We've had students who participate with the band. We've actually had a couple of students come through who wanted to take part in security. And so they came one time we had a student who actually came in a uniform, and then last year we had a young man come with the security shirt. Right. And they stood off to the side with Officer Hamer, and they sat there, and I mean, they were serious, So again, it's just incredible, just again, allowing them, giving them an opportunity to find their place,
So, and I want to go back to the family thing for just 1 second. Seeing them up in the stands is one thing, but you guys have a pregame little deal that y'all do for the families, and it makes it even more special because you get to spend some time with them in an environment that you normally wouldn't because they're coming in for different reasons, checking a kid out, meetings, and things like that. Where now it's almost like a dinner on the grounds kind of family reunion environment where they're behind the scenes, sitting down, and they're eating and they're fellowshipping with one another. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh my goodness. I get excited. I really do when I start thinking about special night. So the first night, the first special night, we organized a VIP event. We said, this is just for the students and their parents, and they're going to come in and we're going to feed them, and just time for them to socialize and enjoy the company of one another and also build new relationships. For these parents to have other parents that they can lean on who might be able to understand through experiences some of the challenges that they face, but also the joys, that they have in their lives. And now the VIP event has really grown. As a matter of fact, I just turned in the count for this year, and I told her, I said, plan on 150, but it might be a little more because we have, now we have Troup and Callaway that have taken part. We also have the Exceptional Way, which is a program that a lot of our adults with differing abilities take part in, which gives them the opportunity to go out into the community and take part. And we have a lot of alumni that are there, and they want to take part. So again, we've invited them to come to the VIP event and enjoy that time together. But we have a photo booth now. A lot of the Gen Ed peers come in. It's just incredible. The kids, they all get so excited. So although you have the Granger blue and you have the blue and gold and then you have the Cavs colors in there, they're all as one.
So how do we get to that point where it's just the special Grangers too, full county? How's that happen?
So after the first year, again, I believe it made a powerful impact on all of us. And for me, and I continue to grow every day and learn from my students, our students. But my team members, and I have an amazing team, we all work together, Ms. Felicia Moneypenny and Mr. Craig Mobley. But we were just talking about, wow, what an incredible opportunity this was for our students. And we saw what took place that night, and then, of course, after that event, because what else took place that night? Building relationships. There were relationships that were built that night as a result of this event. And we were like, you know what? Again, a place for every child. We want all of our students, with differing abilities within our community as a whole to have this opportunity. And so we invited our friends to join us, and they did. And each year it just continues to grow. Someone asked me earlier, what are you going to do after this year if it grows anymore? And I said, well, we're going to have to find another building because it's packed out.
Right.
It is packed out. But again, the joy and the excitement, it's something, it's truly indescribable. And each and every year, we always go, oh my goodness, we'll never top this again. This was just, we're going home with a full heart. But every year, it's, this is going to sound silly, but it truly is magical. Like it really is, because you've got my students. One thing that I've learned from them is this sense of joy and acceptance. And it's so genuine, it's so pure. So all of these students coming together, and then you've got their peers coming in, again, to rally behind them. And it's just, the energy is absolutely electric.
So I'd asked a student to come in today to also film with us. He's a senior, Drew Robinson. And I met Drew last year, and he goes to my church, and we did like VBS together this past summer. And for 2 years, he's been telling me that his favorite night of the year is special night. And he told me that again this past week, because I don't know why it had been brought up in the class. And I wanted him to come explain why that is for him, and he couldn't because he had to go check on his dog. But it's not just impactful for the special Grangers or special members of the community or exceptional ed students. It is touching to anybody that's in that building. And for anybody that was at Mr. and Mrs. LHS, I think everybody, like Dimitri winning, Alyssa, the runners-up, like that's awesome. The highlight of the night were the two students who got up and got to give a speech that they never would have in any other situation. And it needs to be said that it's not just special for those families. Exactly. It's for anybody that's in that building. And I hate he couldn't be here to talk about it, but anybody that comes to it will leave being touched.
And that's also evident if you watch the kids in the hallways and in the classrooms. I mean, you watch them go to elective classes and things like that, or you watch them in the cafeteria, and they're holding court. I mean, literally, Devin is holding court, with a table full of other students, and he's got them laughing and cutting up and things like that. And it's just, you're right. I mean, it's more for other people and how their impact on other students, and then how that. Maybe an old stereotype of something like that is now just broken down, and it truly is. We're all just Grangers, and we all.
Well, I think we did an episode earlier about like our characteristics of a Granger, right? And empathy is a big part of that. And this is one of those things that helps other students help people see other people from their perspective. And we're having opportunities for general ed students to see other perspectives and be impacted by it, and it's helping them be better people in the long run. So it touches multiple different sides of this, which I think that's important.
It's evidenced by, on a regular basis, in top floor B building, we have a student that's going to come down that hallway, and he's going to be all smiles. And there are certain people every single day that there have to be hugs with. And if the hug is not done, he's coming in the room. and he's going to get those hugs. And they're so awesome about it that, you know, they don't even ask. I mean, they just run out there in the hallway if the timing's off. And everybody's so genuine with just trying to love on each other. And that's gotta have a connection, because I've been here a long time. And that's a change. That's a positive change.
Look, I'm going to tell you one that he got when you said that just got me every single day was Antavius Baker.
Oh,
That kid,
yes.
I'm going to tell you, and then just seeing him on the court, you know, on the first night, and, you know, he was always laughing. He was always smiling, you know, and he was always signing to me. I got no idea what he's saying to me, and I'm signing back, and I'm going to tell you, look, I
dangerous.
check my phone. He will call me once a week on Facebook Messenger, and he can't understand what I'm saying, you know, or anything like that, but you just hear him laughing, or he'll FaceTime me. And he's just
Pure
sitting
joy.
there, and it's nothing but pure joy. And you want to talk about like the kind of joy that brings to it, and like to me,
Right.
it is. I mean, and it is very special. It's special.
It really is. And you know, you when you shared just the impact it makes on everyone, I was just thinking about Biddy and Bo's coffee shop. I love something that they really push out there. It's changing the way we see other people, changing the way we value other people, accept, include, and love and respect other people. And I think special night, that is the ultimate goal. And I feel like here at LaGrange High School, we truly do embody that. Again, it's intentional, you know. And again, I mean, one day at a time, but again, it goes back to what if we? And again, having the opportunity, I'm telling you, that is huge. There are so many things that Coach Mobley, Ms. Moneypenny, and myself, again, I can't tell you how blessed I am to work with an amazing team. They are phenomenal. And the families, you know, but having administration who are okay with us, you know, when we go to them and say, what if we? Because I've got to be honest with you, we do that quite often. You know, we're knocking at the door. Can we talk to you? But the willingness to try different things, you know, I mean, for all of our students with and without differing abilities, to truly inspire them and to bring about passion, and to help them find purpose and meaning in what they're doing, it goes back to presenting opportunities. And most of these opportunities are not going to be opportunities that are, you know, listed in some type of program, or I mean, it's just stepping outside of the box, you know.
You know, and I saw that last year, and I'm assuming that you'll have something else planned for us this year. But you know, and Ryan's talking about intentionality with this. You know, it started with Special Night for Special Grangers, then it's Special Night Building Communities, and now if you look out there, we have our elementary kids, those kids that are also served, you know, with differing abilities. Like, they had their time. And they came out last year with their little Tykes goals on the floor, and they played a lot. So it's not like you're just simply talking about high school kids. You're talking about, again, you go back to, you know, a place for every kid, you know, here in Troup County. And it really kind of brings that to life. It's not just a slogan or a phrase that you just kind of latch onto or something. I mean, it's something that's real, and you can see it, and you can see it in action.
You can. Delicia Hamilton, who is a teacher, she serves students with differing abilities at Berta Weathersby. And a couple of years ago, she brought her class, her elementary class, and this is a population with differing abilities. They came and they were spectators. They took part, and she was so excited about this. She brought them in, and I mean, they had the best time. And I will never forget her approaching me after that event and she said one of her students told her, I'm gonna be out there one day. So again, we're helping those students to create visions and set goals, and they never miss an event now. But this year, I didn't tell you this, but we actually have, surprise. What if we?
Yeah, that's right.
But we actually this year have a special night elementary committee, because they are really reaching out this year, and to bring those students in to give them their opportunity, for a 2-minute basketball run. And then we also have invited our middle school students. We have a few students who are going to come. They're going to pass out flyers and welcome people. So again, just
No, I'm all
trying
for it.
to, we're just trying to create out more opportunities.
Right.
Great,
So,
yeah.
so that's good to get into, like, what are we going to see special night? When, where, how do you get tickets? What are people going to see when they come?
If people want to help, how do they get involved?
So the great thing about Special Night is we do not charge. You do not have to purchase a ticket. There are shirts that we sell each year. And then we also, oh my goodness, so much. We'll have there'll be a few items when you come in if you would like to take part. But as far as paying to get into the event, no charge whatsoever. As far as, wanting to contribute, you can email myself, nortonmh@troup.org. You can reach out to the school and they will relay that message to me and I will be back in contact. But, we have individuals who sometimes they want to donate. You may make a monetary donation that helps us as we plan for the VIP event, because it does take money to feed all these people. Some people just want to donate food items. It may just be volunteer work. We are continuously looking to create more opportunities. And the more people that invest, including our stakeholders, the more opportunities there will be. So
tell us when it is,
it is March the 20th,
which is next
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. What time?
The event begins at 7:00.
And the VIP pregame kind of festivities start at
So that starts at 5:30, but that is for student participants.
Only, and their families.
Yes, they actually have these special VIP bracelets that have been sent to them.
Do we need any help in there serving or anything like that? Have we got that covered?
I believe we're covered
Okay.
for next week.
Okay.
But again, please come out and just take part. And just embrace the moment, because again, I promise you will leave with a heart full of joy. And I always take something with me when I leave. So we're super excited. And also a shout out to our, our Cavaliers and our Tigers. They have really been pushing it. Again, just seeing the excitement. I have a niece that attends Troup High School, and she reached out and said, Aunt Mitzy, this year, oh my goodness, we're really hearing a lot of talk about Special Night,
That's good.
So again, it's growing at all of the schools. So we're excited and we're just grateful for a community, and most of all, just grateful for Mr. Bozeman and all of our admins and all of you, staff as a whole. Again, we couldn't do it. It takes a village. It is a team effort.
So if somebody shows up and wants to make a purchase, are there certain methods of payment they need to be prepared for?
So typically, cash. I know we're going more towards digital payments, and that becomes somewhat challenging.
Right.
But we do have someone who is going to be overseeing like concessions. And the individual that oversees that, she does that's separate from the school, but she will have a Venmo that she will allow people to Venmo for concessions. And then we also have a parent who has a Venmo that she shares for individuals if they want to pay for the glow-ons, or if they want to pay for one of the extra shirts. The shirts, they sell really quickly. We always order extra, but I'll be honest, they're typically sold before the event itself.
And how much are those?
They are $25.
Cash.
Yeah. But I do want to share one thing we have started doing. I'm going to go over my time, but we have up until am I overtime?
We don't
You're
really
good.
have time. We're
We can edit
You're good.
that out, Mike.
Let's edit that out. Yeah.
no, you
keep
going. Yeah, you're fine.
Keep going.
They'll never know.
Yeah.
So
Coach Thrasher went for like 50 minutes on the last one, so we're good.
We're good.
So we had Troup, Callaway, and LaGrange. Our special night shirt is the same across the board, but each school now has the opportunity to sell their shirts, and their program profits from that. And then, and it's awesome too, because they can, when you're trying to teach students who are served in an adaptive program to truly meet their needs and to truly teach them daily living skills, that funding is extremely beneficial. So again, we're grateful for that opportunity, and for our stakeholders who have invested. I've got to give a shout out to them.
Take off.
Michael Stogner and LaGrange Toyota, he is our biggest supporter, and we're just so thankful for all that he does for our students. Burns Marketing, Mr. George Childress, he has supported Lisa Glass, Lainey Reese and her family, which is Darby's family. And then Piggly Wiggly has contributed in the past, and we are grateful for that donation. Publix, there was a time when we were blowing up our own balloons, but now we actually have a truck that comes and goes and picks up the balloons from Publix. They blow them up for us free of charge, So again, things like that, any way you can contribute. But I'm worried I'm going to forget someone, but again, we're so thankful for these individuals, these businesses who are pouring in to our community and our students.
Say a lot of, back to the shirts, on the Facebook page, I know that the LaGrange High Facebook page has been posting that information too. So if anybody listening wants to buy a t-shirt or get involved in any way, our Facebook page does have that information as well.
Yep. Well, Ms. Norton, we can't thank you enough for being here today and talking to us about LaGrange High School and the program that we have going on here, and then special night, and just can't wait to for next Wednesday.
I know.
So
I'm pretty pumped myself.
absolutely.
I'm excited.
So look, if you guys do not have plans for next Wednesday come 7 o'clock, all right, be right here at LaGrange High School across the street in the new gym. If you have plans, you may want to go ahead and change them, all right, so that you can be here, because I promise you it'll be a night to remember, and you will not leave here, all right, just unsatisfied. I mean, it will truly change you, and you will find joy in watching these kids and these people and how they interact with the fans and the families and everything else. So, well, that's going to wrap us up for another insightful episode of Granger Talk. Again, once a huge thanks to Ms. Norton for sharing with us today and her experiences and insights into Special Night. Remember, you can catch all of our episodes of your favorite Granger podcast platform. Stay tuned for more captivating discussions on the next things that we have going on here at LaGrange High School. And as always, go Grangers.
Go Grangers.